All right, everybody, how's it going? We're on Top Tier Play here with my friend Damion. If you want to introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, I'm Damion, long lost friend of Chase and Caleb.
We've been missing him for a very long time. He was out at sea for quite a few years, and he's back. We're ready to talk about games. So, Damion, what do you want to introduce to us today?
Elden Ring.
Oh, yeah. You're going to talk about Elden Ring today.
Yeah.
That's a kind of a hard game, huh?
Yeah. So it was like the first Dark Souls-ish game I played. I think I played one of the Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But I sucked at it, so I didn't play it very long.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
But Elden Ring, I think when it came out, I don't know if I saw like TikToks on it or anything like that, but I was like, this game looks really badass.
Yeah,
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then my little brother Jay, he was like, we got to get Elden Ring. He was like, we got to play it. And I was like, okay, I'm super down.
Yeah.
And we grinded that for like a solid 2 months. Like every time I got off work, I don't even know if he was in school at the time or he was on break. And he was just always ready to play and grind it for hours.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I remember when that first came out, and I have one friend that only plays Souls games. He was like, bro, you got to get this game. It's going to change your life. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. And so I got it. I was dog shit. Yeah. Absolute trash. I don't know. I've tried to play other Souls games before, and it's never worked out for me. I've always just gotten like to a really hard boss fight or something, and then I just kind of fall off of it like real quick. So why don't you introduce us to like sort of like what the game's about, the sort of like gameplay mechanics, stuff like that. For somebody that doesn't know what Elden Ring is.
So, like, the lore of Elden Ring, I couldn't tell you. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You just spawn in. I think you have I don't remember all the classes, but you start off by creating your character. I think there's, like, a priest, right?
Yeah.
Who's, like, a magical kind of caster. There's a warrior, basic, like, hard hitter. I don't know if it was like a stealth class or something like that, but it was more focused on like parrying, and you had like a dagger.
Yeah, it was like a dagger.
I don't remember what the
I think it was like a
name
thief
was.
or something.
Yeah, thief. Yeah, so that was my build actually.
Oh, really?
I think I made like 2 before I like settled on that one. And then like you could do like a bare bones, like nobody. They're just in some draws.
Yeah, literally just naked.
And then you just go on the world, raw dog.
Yeah.
But and you just start off, and then I think you run into like one main boss that you're supposed to lose. Like there's no way to beat them.
Yeah.
Especially starting off, no weapons, really no. How do you say, like, you don't know any of the game mechanics at this point. Yeah. I think they showed you the basics, like walking, looking around, rolling, jumping. Yeah. They don't, and then boom, boss.
They don't like put any like smaller enemies along the way or anything. You just like go straight up, and then a boss appears, and you get your introduces you to the mechanic like pretty early on. So So the main mechanic for like a lot of Dark Souls games is just if you die, you lose all your money basically, and all the enemies respawn. So it's pretty punishing, especially if but you respawn at these things called what are they called?
I think they're called campsites or campfires.
Yeah, you respawn at these things called campsites. So you run up to one, and it's kind of like a fast travel point, and that's kind of like your home base where you're going to level up, look through your inventory, stuff like that. And but if you die, you respawn at one of those, but all the enemies will also respawn. So it's like, and if you rest at one, the enemies will respawn as well. So you have to be kind of careful when you find one that's like out in the wild and you're like going through like maybe a castle or something. And if you rest at it, all the enemies in the back will respawn, so you can't really backtrack.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a risk-reward kind of thing. And also, if there's a campsite that's near a boss, if it's farther away from the boss and you still have to go through like a bunch of enemies to get to the boss gate or whatever, then it's going to be, you kind of have to like memorize all the enemy placements so you don't lose a lot of health on your way to fight the boss.
Yeah,
so
especially, I don't remember if you won, like, on the road to Hagrid. There's, like, the big giant monster that just jumps down out of nowhere. Yeah. You're not expecting it at all.
Yeah, exactly. I always play these games, like, super cautiously, so I'm always, because I can't remember if it was, like, the first Dark Souls or something, but they always love to place enemies right out of sight, to where you can't see them. So, like, if you're walking through a doorway, there'll definitely be somebody right there in the corner, ready to attack you. It always scares the shit out of me every time.
Yeah.
So, when I went through that area, there's the, are you talking about the big giant that's, like, up on the...
There's, like, a fallen tower or something, but it's like a bridge.
Yeah. Every time. So, I was, like, sneaking my way through there, because I was like, there's no way they don't put something in this place. And I look up and I just see this big motherfucker staring down at me. I'm like, I could probably just run past him, but I don't know how good that's gonna go. So with Elden Ring, this was the first time that they've tried like an open world sort of formula. A lot of their previous games are like
very linear.
Very linear corridors, stuff like that. The maps usually aren't gigantic or anything. They really want you to like focus on kind of like a path to the boss. So for Elden Ring, this is the first time they also let you have a mount too. So the mount is like...
It's a lifesaver.
Yeah, the mount's a lifesaver. There's a boss towards the end that it doesn't really help out with. That I got stuck on a lot, but it doesn't... There's a lot of mechanics for the open world that I would make sense in my head when I play through it, but they don't work in reality. So like, there's fall damage, right? But if you're on the mount and you're jumping from a high place, the mount has a double jump. So I would assume like if I jump off a really high place and then I do a double jump right before I land, I won't take damage. But no, you take full damage no matter what if you fall. So you just die. Even though you're like 10 feet from the ground and you do a little double jump, no, it doesn't work like that.
I actually really like how they had it so open world, so you could explore all these different kind of caves that had mini bosses that you could fight, and then even like the circular things, I don't even know what they were called, but like you would summon the boss, and then you were just stuck in the circle and you had to fight the boss.
Yeah, that's right, the jails. Yeah. That's where they would like come in and start. You would get like an item or something, right? If you beat them, I think like a blessing or something.
And they were all like super hard.
I know, very difficult. I had to use the summoning. It was like a bell, I think. The summoning spirit ashes or whatever. That was a big game changer in how I fight. How I went through a Souls game, because like in previous games, they didn't really have that. You would have to like summon your friend to come and help you. But if you did that, then other people can invade your world and mess you up too. And they get like incentives for that. So there's always like a give and take in FromSoft games. Like, Did you ever play co-op?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So like every time I would play it, me and my little brother Jay, we would be in Discord together, and we would try and discover like the same areas together. So like we're kind of like progressing together.
Oh yeah.
But then like once we'd get to the boss, we would summon each other like either at the start of the castle or whatever, or like right before the boss fight.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We got invaded a couple times. Though. Like on the way to those would suck.
Yeah, I know.
Especially, I don't remember which boss it was, but there was like a bunch of hard knights that you had to fight. And so me and him were just trying to sprint through it, but every time trying to get to that boss, we'd get invaded. And so
my God.
All those players know that this is just like a hard route, and they're just sitting for you, and so they're like, "You got to come this way."
Spot.
And they just try and clop you and freaking take off like half your health.
Right, exactly.
Right before the boss fight. And then you're just like, bro, come on.
Yeah. I don't know what it was with when I first started playing. My friend is like a Dark Souls veteran. Like he plays all of them, like hundreds of hours into each one. And we, every time he was helping me like explore through the world or get to like a different place, we would be invaded by like the sweatiest try-hard person of like the entire world. Like we're talking like as soon as you attack him, he knows how to parry you, and he'll like stab you right in the back and stuff like that. And he would use like a bleeding build. And so if like you take a bunch of like bleeding stacks or whatever, you just like explode. So every time we were trying to get to this like one boss, we'd have this one guy that was just like camping us. I guess he was like on the server the entire day, just like spamming us. So I've never had any luck with Dark Souls.
No, I think me and my little brother beat a couple invaders, but for the most part, like they were all tryhards. They're veterans, but I have a big ego. I'm not gonna back down. I'm gonna face you. And so, like, I would try. I would always lose for the most part, but
I try to be smart with it, and every time like and it's funny because it's two of you versus one of them, so you'd think it'd be like pretty easy, but every time like I try to like jump in and fight, the guy's like already like dodging and rolling around behind you and killing you and stuff. It's like ridiculous, and that's my experience with co-op has never been good, so I try to stay kind of away from that. It was worse in other Dark Souls games because of how linear they are. So people know like the best spots to like hide and wait or like snipe you from somewhere. And especially when it's like a linear path to a boss at the end of it, they always get you every single time.
Speaking of bleed builds, what was your build?
Oh, I went straight two-hand sword. Yeah, I went with great sword. So I just went strength.
Yeah.
I like to I don't like to like overcomplicate my builds or anything, or like when I first play through a game, I like to do like standard build and see how that goes. So I started with the knight that has like the shield and the regular sword, and then I kind of transitioned from that to a great sword because they just look badass. So I like using them. Like I found out early on that blocking doesn't really help you out that much in a fight because of how the bosses just attack you, because they can take like all of your stamina just by blocking all that, and then you have like one swing that you can hit them with, and then it just like takes forever. And sometimes you can't even block their attacks because they come out so fast. So and there's one thing with the bosses that I got a big gripe with, and it's like how they delay their attacks so much. You know what I mean?
Wind up.
Huge. They have this like gigantic wind up, and I'm like dodging and rolling like 5 times, and they still are like about to bring it down, and then as soon as I think that they're done, it's like immediate hit. So learning the timings on all the bosses was just so rough. It was so bad. I had a hard time because like instinctually I'm like, I see an attack being wound up, I'm like, okay, dodge. And that's not how that works in this game at all.
And the bosses are like so smart too. Like when you dodge and they're winding up, they're adjusting to you.
Oh, I know.
They're like,
I know.
You're not going anywhere.
I know. I think I'm like rolling around to the back of them, and as they're still winding up on this one spot, and all of a sudden they'll turn around and smack me right in the head. I'm like, okay, thanks for that. Was there any? Do you have like a favorite boss out of all of them, or anyone that just sticks out to your mind?
One that I was super stuck on for a while was, I don't remember his name, but it was like the big ass giant that would ride a small horse.
Oh yeah, Radon.
Yeah, and it was like an open field.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, I don't know if he's like throwing meteors or whatever to you, but I just remember like you're trying to get to him, he's freaking shooting bow and arrows. And
the Radon fight is so sick because you just walk up to this town and everybody's like, here for the festival, and you're like, for what? The festival for who? And then they show like the cutscene of him like on his horse, this small ass horse, and you're like, I don't think I want to fight this guy. And then they teleport you down there, and you can like, did you summon all the other people that are in that area? They have like
oh yeah.
They have like a bunch of like
you have to.
I know. I was like, wow, he's really far away. What is that coming toward me right now? As he's shooting like those big, gigantic arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I died quite a few times before I could even reach him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was,
So him for sure, and then Melina.
oh my god.
Yeah. Melina was relentless.
Yeah.
Unforgiving.
Yeah. I definitely put the game down for a while after fighting with her for a bit. I was like, what do you mean there's a second form? That's not right. It was awful. Because she just has that one move where it's like you can't, I don't think you can even like really dodge it. You have to like run like 10 feet away.
She does like 30 or something slashes, just like nonstop. And she's moving fast too. Right. So like even one dodge, she's catching up to you.
And she doesn't really have a wind up for that either. So if you're right next to her and she hasn't done it, you're like, oh shit, it's coming out. And if you're right next to her, you're done. She's just gonna cut you
turn you into sushi.
Yeah. And then she has I think in her second form, she heals every time she slashes. So it's like
yeah, because I think once you get her down to like half health, she goes all the way back up.
Yeah. So you have to. Oh man, I just realized like how bad it is, how bad it feels to play like a melee character. Because I feel like if I was a ranged character, it probably wouldn't be as bad, because you could just like run around and shoot her or strafe her from like afar. But, yeah. A lot of people recommended me not to go melee for my first time because of how much more magic is involved in this one. So I didn't listen to him at all.
Yeah.
I just went straight strength. That was my fucking favorite. I think the boss I like the most would have to be the did you fight that demon that was like, it was like part of a constellation or something? It was like a star beast or something. It was like this big serpent that had a skull as a face. It might have been like kind of like locked away.
Oh, okay.
So I don't
know. Kind of
like
a secret side boss.
Kind of, yeah. He's like it's like a demon that messes with like stars and constellations and magic and stuff like that. So he's kind of similar to Radon in that he has these like a bunch of projectiles, and if you don't get out of the way, it's probably going to just kill you instantly. So a lot of the fight was either trying to get as close as possible, because like he'll just like open up this like void, I guess, and it'll be like a lot of like projectiles going straight out, so you could like roll behind him and try to get him like on the side or something. As long as you stay close to him, you had a pretty good chance of dodging all of his attacks.
Does that one have like a second form too?
No. Well, he has like, it's not like a second form. He kind of has like a second phase where he uses different attacks when you get him like low health.
Is it more like fire attacks? Okay.
No, yeah, his is all like...
The more you're explaining it, I'm like, I feel like I have, but then I was like, I can't really remember.
Well, there was there's the fire giant.
Yeah, the fire giant, but I'm thinking of this one. I don't know if it was a snake or like a lizard.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. It's it's one of the children, right? He got like devoured by a snake. He's under like the volcano manor.
No, I think it was a part of like of a cave.
Oh, part of a cave?
Yeah, there was like these big pillars. They kind of almost look like there was water on the ground, but like.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, it's the same one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah. There's two of them apparently in the game. So there's one that's like behind like a quest thing that you do, and then there's another one that's like later on in the area, like part of like a mini dungeon kind of thing. So yeah, so that was probably it then that you fought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just like a really cool design, but yeah. Were you able to finish the game?
Yeah. So the finish. Did you finish?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was after you beat the dude with like one arm, I think, and then he transforms into this majestical like Loch Ness monster that looks like the galaxy.
Yeah, it's like one eye. It's like in the center of his little. He has like this like weird baby head, just a big body.
Yeah,
and Oh my god, that fight was just. I don't know. How did you think about the fight? That last one.
That fight was hard as fuck. It was the hardest fight, I think.
I was surprised that you couldn't summon your mount to fight in that area, because there's a lot of times where that boss will just like fuck off, just go into the complete opposite direction and start shooting projectiles at you, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna run over there.
Yeah.
I'll see you in a little bit. Yeah. It was a cool reveal, but just ooh,
yeah,
that was hard, and especially since you have to keep fighting the first part again. Yeah, and and towards the end of the game, it's a lot of like, it feels like a boss rush kind of style where you're like boss after boss after boss.
Yeah,
as you're like going towards the end. So I was like exhausted by the time I get to the last one. Yeah. How did you feel about the ending overall?
So like I was explaining at the start, I don't really understand the lore. I don't know what the hell's going on at all.
Yeah.
I just liked like the mechanics of the game.
Yeah.
I liked how challenging it was. But I don't know what the hell's going on at all. If you ask me,
yeah,
I don't know.
it's from Soft Style. They like to hide everything. Basically, you get like the story and the items itself. So like a lot of items will have descriptions about like this character or this character, and you kind of have to piece it together yourself. You can get a lot of like context clues just from going through the main route, but yeah, they don't make it easy.
No, yeah. No,
they don't like to put things in your face either. I like how there's no like quest markers or anything for like any of the side quests. So you talk to a random person.
You have to find it all yourself.
Yeah, they're like, go talk to this person.
At first, I thought it was a little annoying because I was like, where do I go?
Yeah, exactly.
But then like, once you start seeing like how the map's placed out, you find caves and stuff like that. You're like, oh, okay, I just keep playing, and then sometimes there's roads that lead you places.
Yeah, exactly.
It made it more interesting and fun. Yeah. But definitely at the start, I was like, bro, what am I doing?
So I'll go to this castle that they want me to. So hope something cool happens on the way. Yeah.
What was I going to say? So have you seen anything on like the DLC that's coming out?
I didn't watch the trailer, but I've seen shots from it. So I kind of get I have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk about it?
So I didn't watch the trailer either, but I heard some cool things they're introducing. Like, I don't know how much further they're going to progress the story off the DLC.
Right.
But, like, I know they're bringing a couple new classes, maybe. I think one's supposed to be, like, a fighter, like a martial artist.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so, like, I seen, like, a little clip of, like, this dude's, like, kind of, like, almost, like, how do you say it? He's like, there's like an after image of him, like so like he'll attack, the after image will stay, and then like he's fucking up here, and then he's down here, and he's just fucking
cool. It's like
kicking ass.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah,
but I think they're adding a couple new classes, and then I think the DLC is supposed to be like super large too. Like it's supposed to be almost like another game.
Yeah. I mean, they've been working on it since
it released, right?
It came out. Yeah. So it's been like 4 years.
Yeah.
Like Jesus. Everybody's been talking about waiting for it to show up, and it finally got a trailer announced. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, especially for Fighter Class. I love playing like punchy characters or stuff like that. But in Elden Ring, it doesn't really work out that well. For a lot of the bosses and enemies, you kind of need some reach to get them, especially. But if you're up close, if it works. It works. I mean, so yeah.
That's what I struggled with the most as a thief, because like at first I just focused on dodging, and then I saw how to get this, I don't even know what it was called. I wanted to say run, but it's not a run, but like this like dash where it's almost like you teleported. Once I saw that, I was like, that's so badass. I need that. And then so I grabbed that. I used that for a majority of the game, and then like on TikTok I would see how other people play thieves, and then so like I would see people just parry bosses and just kill them, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I want to do that. I was like, I want to learn how to parry.
The parrying thing is sick. No.
Trying to reteach my playing style is so hard.
I know. Whenever it's like a parrying mechanic, I'm like spamming the button, and it's like, that's not how you do it. Especially like from
and you have to like do it like
I know, yeah.
Right on time.
The window for it is like very, very tight because like I mean that's just FromSoft in general, but
the risk reward for that is crazy.
I know. I love seeing a boss getting parried and just like stab right in the stomach. It's so sick. Yeah, that's my favorite part about. I always wanted to try a parry build, but I'm so bad at parrying in FromSoft games.
I could hardly parry the fucking smaller enemies.
I know. Yeah. Like, how am I supposed to parry a giant hammer coming at my face? It doesn't always work out. Yeah, excited for the DLC. Can't wait for that to come out.
No, yeah, the DLC is gonna be dope. I actually already re-downloaded it. Yeah. Me, my little brother Jay, and then my roommate Vince. We're all gonna try and play it together.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
But he never played the original one, so he said he like created his character, but he hasn't started it yet.
Oh man.
So me and my little brother kind of want to like start like pushing him through progressing the main game. Yeah. Just so he has like some footing.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the enemies look diabolical in the trailer. I heard on. I was scrolling through like the comments, and a lot of them were saying that there's like a poison swamp in there, so you're gonna have to deal with like poison buildup as you're fighting enemies, and I'm looking forward to getting killed a lot more.
Yeah.
So, I think usually for DLC and FromSoft games, they put it somewhere like in the middle of the, so you don't have to like finish the game completely.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to like completely finish it and then it continues from there. Usually it's like somebody will be standing by like, hey, you want to go over here and check out this place? And then that's where the area will open up. But maybe this time they'll put it like in the menu. So I want to go to the DLC area. Then you don't have to mess with anything else.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was like, I don't know if it's a new map or anything like that.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, because they're going to have like new areas and stuff. I don't know if it'll be part of like the original area map, but yeah, it'll definitely be a new area.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, it'll be sick.
Did you, I guess we'll call it a little cheat. Did you do so like at the beginning of the game, if you just rush through and don't fight any enemies, there's like a dead dragon somewhere. And so if you don't have a bleed build, it takes you a really long time, probably like 30-40 minutes to kill this dragon because you just keep hitting it. You have to let your stamina rebuild up, hit it again. But once you kill it, you get all this I forget,
it's like runes,
what the currency is in the game.
Yeah, the runes.
Yeah. You get like a bunch of that, and then so you could like level up your player kind of quickly at the start.
Yeah.
Did you do that or no?
I don't know. Is it like a really big dragon?
Was it a what?
A big dragon?
Like yeah. But it's like laying on the ground. It's like already dead.
Yeah. I didn't know about that one. What I did to level up or like grind for levels was like there's a place that's right near the castle, the first castle, and there's a bunch of those giants that are just like standing around hanging out. And I just like went on my mountain, cut off their legs. And just did that over and over, and that gives you a decent chunk of experience. But I know what dragon you're talking about.
I don't know. My headset sounded really weird right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's going on?
That was strange. Sounded like aliens. Yeah. I was like, whoa. But sorry, that whatever you just said in that last like 10 seconds.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I think we might have to call it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
I think we got some good talks. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
You saw it?
I didn't see anything.
That was an episode of Top Tier Play. Thank you for watching.
And be sure to check out the rest of our content on Typhoon. We've got a bunch more coming for you. Stay tuned.
Nice.